What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are looking at some more new cards from the second set of Keyforge, Age of Ascension, and we're looking at Brobnar with one big caveat, I'm afraid. They released like twice as many, or revealed twice as many Brobnars as any other house. So we're going to split them into two, and our focus today is all about the Giants. And I want to start off having a look at Drummernaut. Ladies and gentlemen, Drummernaut looks fun. It is a common creature, and it's a 6 power, which is good. I mean, Brobnar are known for being big, bashy creatures anyway, but still, 6 power is nothing to be sniffed at. And when you play it, you get to return a friendly giant creature to your hand. When you fight and survive it, you get to return a friendly giant creature to your hand. And when you reap, you get to return a friendly giant creature to your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you do with Drummernaut, you get to return a friendly giant creature to your hand. And we've had a bunch of other giant creatures revealed so far from set 2. I think one of them is going to be in the next video, but most of them are going to be in this one. So Drummernaut, yeah. What we really want here is play abilities. Now, don't get me wrong. When you return a creature to your hand, you can heal it. That would work. And then you play it back down again, fully healed. But really here, you're doing this to try and reuse coming into play abilities. That's what we are primarily worried about. Now, the bad news is that we don't actually have any giants revealed from set 2 that have coming into play abilities. The good news is a lot of the Brobnars are giants. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So maybe it's Heber the Huge, deal 2 damage to each other undamaged creature. Maybe it's Earthshaker, destroy each creature with a power of 3 or lower. Maybe it's my boy Bumpsy, your opponent loses 1 ember. The point of this is that there's lots of giants in the first set that do good stuff when they come into play. And even if we haven't seen many of them from set 2 yet, we all know they're going to be in the set. We know that there's going to be a whole bunch of giants. Brobnar always had, well, in set 1 they had a lot of giants. So far in set 2, they've had a lot of giants. I see no reason why this would change anytime soon. It's one of their things, gosh darn it. And that means that this is just going to keep getting better and better and better. Yeah, this is going to be a very useful ability indeed. But we also have COWFYNE. Now, COWFYNE is a giant, 5 power, no coming into play ability. But before the fight, you deal 2 damage to each neighbor of the creature COWFYNE fights. I like to think of it as before they fight, they chuck a couple of those big cow creatures into the melee just to see what would happen. This is nice. We all know that neighbors are important, and we've got that new keyword skill deploy coming in wave 2 that allows you to put a creature wherever you like, not necessarily on the flank, which is really handy, because generally it's given to creatures that affect their neighbours, so you get to insert them wherever you like on the line, and then that's going to help out the creatures you put them next to. Limindra's a good example. It's got deploy, and it gives each of your neighbours elusive. So COWFYNE here, I mean, 2 damage won't KO that many creatures, but it will get some. But it just gets damage on the board. One thing Brobnar does is get damage on the board, and COWFYNE here, getting damage onto the neighbours while attacking a particular creature. Yeah, this sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. We're also getting Culf the Quiet. Again, it's a giant, it's got 6 power, and it's got elusive. And that's it. That's what it does, that's what it is. The thing is, Shadow's characters have elusive. Many of them have elusive. Go back to Limindra, not only does it have elusive, but it gives its neighbours elusive. But if we look back to Brobnar in the first set, can anyone off the top of their head tell me how many of these Brobnar creatures had elusive? Yeah, it wasn't very many, ladies and gentlemen, it was 2. The only Brobnar creatures in set 1 that had elusive were Looter Goblin and Pingle Who Annoys. Elusive is not something we expect. And here's the thing, right? Looter Goblin, 2 power creature. Pingle Who Annoys, 2 power creature. Now, don't get me wrong, they did have skills as well. But the point is, a 6 power creature with elusive is something we don't see very often. At first glance, it looks a bit like, 6 power elusive, that's fine. But that's just not something we see very often. We don't generally see high power creatures with elusive. Low power creatures with decent skills, but not high power creatures. There is, however, the argument of, well, the problem is if it's 6 power, you're going to want to fight with it, and it's not got skirmish, so when you fight with it, it'll get taken down anyway. So maybe it doesn't really matter. Certainly for a creature with whom you want to fight, skirmish is better, so you can fight and survive. And generally, if you want to sit on the field and reap or use actions, or other omni skills or whatever, then yeah, that's when we generally want elusive. So this is a little bit of a weird one to me. Little bit of a weird one. Thematically, though, with Culf the Quiet and the artwork, yeah. We are also getting Grumpus Tamer. Now, I like this because we've had a couple of cards that are all kind of themed. So Grumpus Trainer is, shockingly enough, stop me if you've heard this one before, a giant, 4 power, and it's got a reap skill. Search your deck and discard pile for a War Grumpus, reveal it and add it to your hand. So you get to get 1 War Grumpus from either your deck or discard pile. And maybe this gets clarified later, but the way I'm reading it, you search your deck and your discard pile, but you're getting a War Grumpus, so therefore you're only getting the 1. Okay, cool. The thing is, this doesn't really do very much on its own, so we should probably have a look at what War Grumpus does. And the good news is that was revealed as well. It would be really annoying if they revealed Grumpus Trainer, but not War Grumpus. War Grumpus is a 3 power beast, not a giant. And when you fight or reap, you ready and fight with a neighbouring giant. That's really good. If it's a very fighting Brobnar theme, Brobnar likes to fight, but I've just gone in through and explained how many of these Brobnar creatures are giants, so this is going to really help you out to get them going. So you've got the combo going quite nicely here. And what you could do is use Grumpus Trainer, pop a War Grumpus into your hand, put War Grumpus down next to Grumpus Trainer, and then the next turn when it's ready, you can fight with Grumpus Trainer. You could, if you've got one next to it, reap, get a new War Grumpus, and then use War Grumpus to then go ahead and fight with Grumpus Trainer afterwards. It's really quite nice here. A 3 power creature that doesn't have skirmish is not going to do that well at fighting. Remember that you only get these fight abilities if you survive the fight. If you go down in the fight, they don't come in. But I don't really see War Grumpus as a fighter. I see War Grumpus as a reaper. And what you do is you sit there and reap while neighbouring bigger, badder creatures with which to fight. And if you want bigger, badder creatures, it doesn't get much bigger or much badder than Lollop the Titanic. Giant location. 11 power. That's huge! We had one single creature in Wave 1 that could get higher than that, and that was Culf Dragon, which was a 12 power, but then again, yes, it was a 12 power, but you could only put it into play when you had 11 Ember or more, so it wasn't like it was easy to do. And then we had Chuff Ape that was an 11 power, which is in line with Lollop the Titanic, but then again, it entered play stunned. Well, that's not exactly ideal. I did do a video about the strongest creatures in Keyforge. I'll pop a link in the description. But the point is, when you get above 8 power, there's always a downside. What's Lollop's downside? It deals no damage when it is attacked. So if you start the attack, you can take people down. But if you are attacked by other people, you don't deal any damage. You still take damage if you're attacked, but you do not deal damage if you are attacked. So you're an 11 power creature, and when it's your turn, job's a good one. When it's your turn, you're dealing damage back and life is good. But when it's your opponent's turn, and they're hitting you, then you're in a little bit of trouble, because they're essentially able to just do damage to you as much as they want, and you've basically just got to sit there and take it. Not 100% ideal, ladies and gentlemen, but look, it's an 11 power creature. We learned this back in Call of the Archons. If you're a creature with 9 power or more, there is going to be a downside. there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the first half of the Brobnar cards from set 2. I'll be back shortly, hopefully tomorrow, to show you the rest of them. The choice was do a video that was twice as long, or split it into 2. I went splitting it into 2, but I would very much enjoy a little bit of feedback if you'd rather just have kind of a 20-25 minute video looking at all the new Brobnar cards. Let me know. I mean, I can't do it this time, but I can certainly have a look at it next time. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you tell me what you think about all of these Brobnar creatures. Which ones are you excited about? Which ones do you want to get in decks? Which ones can you see good uses and combos for? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. But please do remember the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about Keyforge and Transformers and anything else that takes our fancy. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.